Welcome to all of you in this fourth part of the digestive system. In this video, we will talk about the disorders related with digestive system. So all the disorders which are related to the digestive system can be categorized in three categories. The first one is called deficiency disorder. The second one is called disorders of digestive glands, and the third one, or the third category, is called overnutrition. Now let's talk about the deficiency disorders. Now, as the name suggests, that deficiency disorders are caused by lack of nutrition, and there are two major diseases which fall in this category. The first one is Kwashiorkor, the second one is marasmus. Now let's talk about Kwashiorkor. Now, children getting less than 1 gram of protein per kg of body weight may suffer from this disease. The symptoms include loss of appetite in the child, poor mental and physical growth. When you talk about the third, it is called the matchstick legs. Legs are thin, long, and show a curvature which is called the matchstick legs. Now, change in the color of skin and hair, and the last one is repeated bouts of diarrhea, anemia, edema of hands, legs, and faces. So these are the symptoms by seeing whom, or by observing which, we can say that any child is suffering from Kwashiorkor. Now, what is the cure? Actually, when you talk about the cure of Kwashiorkor, feeding enough amount of protein for a long time, this disease can be overcome. Now let's talk about marasmus. Now, children getting not adequate food or eating less suffer from this disease which is called marasmus. It is caused by deficiency of protein, carbohydrate, and less availability of calories than required. Now, what are the symptoms of marasmus? So the symptoms of marasmus include a very thin and weak body. Second symptom is not fully developed muscles, that means muscles are not fully developed. And third one is a thin face with depressed eyes. When you talk about the fourth symptom, it is wrinkled skin. Skin is not as straight as it is in the normal human beings. So wrinkled skin is the fourth symptom. And the fifth symptom again follows, that is the repeated bouts of diarrhea. Now see, why diarrhea occur in these deficiency disorders? Because when we do not eat enough food, when there is lack of nutrition in our body, our digestive system becomes weak, and because of the weak digestive system, we cannot digest the food which we eat. That is why the symptoms of both these diseases include diarrhea and sometimes anemia as well. Now let's talk about disorders of digestive glands. Now in this category, we will talk about the various glands where the malfunctioning occurs. So first is the diarrhea. Now what is diarrhea? How do we define it? So diarrhea is excessive frequency and liquidity of fecal discharge. It is caused by bacterial and viral infection of gastrointestinal tract. Now that means diarrhea can be caused by a bacteria, diarrhea can be caused by a virus, both. Now the bacteria which causes diarrhea is Escherichia coli, and the virus which causes diarrhea is rotavirus. Now the diarrhea interferes with digestion and it reduces the absorption of food. It also leads to loss of body fluid, leading to dehydration. So in the old days, people used to die because of diarrhea, but now by the intensive researches of WHO, we have some medicines which are very general, very common, there are many drinks which maintains the amount of salt and water in the body, and many systems have been developed. So diarrhea is one disease which is caused by malfunctioning of digestive glands. Now the second is the indigestion. Now indigestion is simply the inability to digest the food. It may be caused by various reasons. The most common reason is consumption of very spicy food or excessive eating. Now, the third one is jaundice. Now, jaundice, what is jaundice? Okay, so jaundice is a disorder which is caused by excessive presence of bilirubin in the skin. Now, you might be remembering what is bilirubin. Bilirubin is one of the pigments which is produced by bile juice. Now, in bile juice there are two pigments, one is called bilirubin and another is called biliverdin. Now, because of the excessive presence of bilirubin, the skin of the patient looks yellowish. This condition is called jaundice. Now, a person who is suffering from jaundice may also suffer from fatigue, fever, loss of appetite, nausea, etc. So, these are all the symptoms of jaundice. Now, next one, vomiting. What is vomiting? How it is defined? So, vomiting is nothing but the forcible expulsion of the contents in the stomach. Now, vomiting is the most general ailment through which we suffer, and it can be caused by a variety of reasons. For example, overeating, excessive eating, or early stages of pregnancy, motion sickness. All these things can cause vomiting. The next is constipation. What is constipation? Constipation is infrequent and irregular passage of dry or hardened feces which can damage the intestinal tract. Now, in this way we have completed the disorders of digestive glands. Now let's move to overnutrition. Now, when you talk about overnutrition, all the diseases which are included in this category are also termed or can also be termed as lifestyle diseases. Now, the first such disease is obesity. It is also called luxury nutritional disease. Now, what is obesity? Obesity is the excess deposit of fats in the body because of overnutrition. Now, all those people who are leading a sedentary lifestyle where there is no physical labor, they suffer from this problem. This is the most common problem from which the people of the developing and developed nations are suffering. Now, what is the cure of the obesity? Regular exercise with proper dieting is the only way through which we can control this. Now, the obesity causes many problems, like it causes diabetes, it causes joint pain, it causes variety of malfunctions which body may suffer. Now, the next one is hypercholesterolemia. Now, in this hypercholesterolemia, what happens? The level of blood cholesterol rises and the blood cholesterol starts getting deposited into blood vessels, and it makes the lumen of the blood vessels narrow and hard, which leads to high blood pressure. Now, how does it lead to high blood pressure? Let me explain you. Suppose we have a pipe on one end, it is joined with the faucet and another end is open. Now, when you press the open end with your fingers, the water comes out with more speed, with more pressure. So, similarly, when the lumen decreases or when the lumen becomes small, the speed of the blood increases, the pressure in the blood increases, which leads to high blood pressure and further hypertension. Now, next is fluorosis. What is fluorosis? As the name suggests, fluorosis is nothing but it is excess of fluorine, which constitutes 0.5 to 0.7% of our teeth and bones. Now, excess of fluorine damages the enamel of the teeth and it causes the excess deposition of calcium in the bones. So, this condition is called fluorosis. Now, the last one in this category is hypervitaminosis. Now, hypervitaminosis is a condition when our body has excess of fat soluble vitamins, which are vitamins A, D, E and K. Now, more amount or excess amount of vitamin A, D, E and K leads to abnormal deposition of calcium in the bones and the body, which causes many problems, which causes damage to the liver. So this condition is called hypervitaminosis. Now, if you want to know more about these diseases, you can Google them, you can search them on the YouTube. There are a variety of sources. In this video, this is it, and this is the end of the digestive system. Thank you.